How's it been since the World Cup? What have you been up to?
It's been good. Yeah, the silver lining of having a few extra days meant we could get away. So, I went off to different parts of Europe, like a few of the boys, and lay in the sun and didn't think about cricket, which was nice. So I'm here, I'm refreshed, ready to go.
How do you reflect on the World Cup?
Yeah, I think it was disappointing to get knocked out in the semis in a tournament where I thought we played really well for the whole time. Gave ourselves a really good chance. Kind of felt like we were peaking at the right time. Always, I guess, in search of that perfect game, which we probably needed in the semi. And unfortunately not at our best that day and got knocked out. But that's World Cup.
Right. Ashes time now. When was the last time you picked up a red ball?
Canberra Test, really. So what's that, 4 or 5 months ago? And there was a pink ball at the Test before that. So it's been a while, even longer for a Duke's ball. So I'm pumped to have a ball that hopefully swings around a bit more for me, and hopefully a batsman leaves the ball every now and then.
It's something that you talked about in the past about needing to concentrate a bit on the white ball and get yourself ready for this World Cup. We maybe battle a bit in one-day cricket for a little while. How do you refocus on the red ball from here?
I think it's pretty easy when you got an Ashes series. Although it's been a lot of white ball, cricket, this has been the big series we've been talking about for a long time in red ball. So, good thing is coming out of the World Cup, still feel like I'm in pretty good shape, refreshed, body's good. So, we've got a couple of weeks here now just to work on that Duke's ball. Don't have to rush it too much. We've got a good hit out here, but I love playing the red ball. It's pretty easy to get up for.
It's probably technically not that different to Shield cricket, playing against mates and guys who you play an Australian team with, but how difficult is this? Like, do you try and exploit guys' weaknesses, or do you work on stuff that you think is going to be working against the England batsman? What's this mindset going into this?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a mixture of all those things. I think personally, from my point of view, it's about trying to get myself 100% ready for a test match. So, I haven't played a first-class game in a few months, so it's going to be trying to bowl some longer spells, get the ball swinging, try and think of ways to get batsmen out. These guys, really good players, just like the English Test side. There's no really obvious flaws, so you got to try and work your way, work a batsman out. So, it's going to be a good hit out. Everyone's in good form.
Is it the danger that you kind of go over a bit too much of a pre-planning against England players, or do you have to sort of think on your feet a bit? Do you have some regimented plans for certain batters, or do you just try and mix and match?
I think as a bowler, it's pretty simple. Plan A is normally top of off, and hopefully get a bit of sideways movement. And I'm sure over here it's not going to be too different. I'm sure once we get closer to the game, we're going to look at I guess their batsmen. There's a few guys we haven't played before in Test matches, but I think the big thing for us bowlers is just remembering what we do well ourselves and trying to just remember that after not playing for a couple of months, looking through some old Test match footage and just I guess more concentrate on what we do well more than certain weaknesses.
With the way that your schedule has panned out over the last few years, obviously the Shield has been the back end with the Duke's ball, and obviously you went here and were playing in the Test in 2015. How much match play have you had with it?
I think a couple of Shield games, maybe one. I'm trying to remember now. I'm not sure, but there's always a couple floating around training that we use, certain stages, if it's up at the academy or, before the Ashes. We had a couple in the kit bag that I bowled with a few times before we flew up to Brisbane for the one-day camp. So it's not too much different. Probably the way it kind of pans out over an 80 overs is slightly different to a Kookaburra, but the way you actually bowl, the basics are still there. So I'm sure I'll pick up one or two things the next couple of weeks there.
And what's the relevance, do you think, of, the last couple of big encounters that Australia have had with England, both the 17-18 Ashes and the World Cup we've just had?
It's hard to say. I guess when you look at our Test side from, the home series last year, it was we've basically got the same squad. We haven't lost anyone from memory, and they're much the same. They've got a couple of guys that are coming in. Their batting order is going to look slightly different, but probably similar to both sides. Our white ball team's quite different to their red ball team. It's no matter who's playing, it's always fire. It's intense. It's always really good cricket. So I can't wait.
How different a cricketer are you to the one that was called into the squad during that 2015 campaign here?
Yeah, very different. I feel like it was hardly me. I think I'd only played a couple of first class games. I think I might have played my first class game in about 3 or 4 years, that tour. Totally different action. Still struggling with my body to try and get many overs. Trying to bowl back-to-back days, trying to bowl 20 overs in a day, and more just absolute excitement of being on that tour. I remember running the drinks in the Ashes series. I thought, it doesn't get much better than that. So hopefully this time playing it's a bit different.
How long do you think it will take you to transition from white ball to red ball?
Hopefully not too long. I think the most difficult one's going the other way and trying to relearn, death bowling, trying to learn your Yorkers, your slow balls. Those kind of things are probably harder than adjusting here. Yeah, most of the basics kind of stay the same. It's just trying to make sure your wrist is good to swing the ball.
And what about, question about Tim Paine being the captain over here on the Ashes squad? Like, what's it been like having him as captain over the past 12 months or so in Test cricket, and I suppose the varying circumstances that you've had to work together?
Yeah, Paine's been brilliant. He's coming back into the Ashes series a couple of years ago, off not playing or kind of being out of the system for about 5 or 6 years, to now being the captain. He's basically stayed really level. He's the same guy. We all love playing with him. Even through the summer, it was quite a stressful series against India. They were playing really well, but he was really calm. He's always really relaxed. Really encourages everyone to not take it too seriously and be quite light-hearted, and hopefully brings much of the same here. He's a great guy.
And what's your, I suppose, if you're having a discussion with him about a bowling spell or whatever, sort of what's the dynamic like? Does he lean on your experience a fair bit, or how do you?
Yeah, it's really mutual. He sees things from behind the stumps that, I might not when I'm bowling, and he's probably got more thinking time, and he's got the slips caught in there that he'll speak to. So he'll see something and throw it up to me, but a lot of it's just left to me. If I'm really strong on a point, that's fine also. So it's good collaboration. No issues so far.
Just finally, this sort of inter-squad game, is this sort of the perfect prep, given that some of those county games can be a little bit sort of second 11 players and they meander a bit? Is this the sort of ideal tune-up for a hard Test match?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's been in the planning for a couple of years. I think the lessons learnt from the last couple of series was exactly that. We want a really good hit out in conditions we can control. People jostling for spots. We've got the best thing is if you've got guys who are fighting for spots in good form. So it's not a pre-season warm-up game that might meander, or you kind of look after people's injuries or something. This is going to be flat out. It's going to be good fun, I think. Especially coming off a good game last week against the Lions. This is going to be just another tune-up game, which is going to get us right and ready.
And just finally, what's that? You would have bowled them a lot in the nets, perhaps not in the game, but what would it be like to bowl against Smith and Warner in a couple of matches?
I'll let you know in a week or so. I think it would definitely get the adrenaline up like a Test match. Doesn't happen too often. I think you'll see our egos be put to the test. We'll be going at each other, I think.
You wouldn't have played them in a match before?
No, I don't think so. Maybe a T20, but not that I can remember.